Danny Flexon here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by former two-weight world champion David Haye. David, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm very good, thanks. Latterly, you've been more well-known as a manager. Derek Chisora, the most recent heavyweight charge you had. If he was in Dillian Whyte's position, how would you feel about the stance taken so far to not participate in the pre-fight media events?
It depends what was in the contract. It depends where his mindset is. Certain fighters benefit from coming to a press conference to see their opponent, to get them fired up. Sometimes a fight isn't real until you're physically standing in front of someone. And depending on what their mindset is, I definitely feel someone like Derek, to get in front of somebody, look at him and have a feel of the energy from the other fighter will get him turned on in training. Whereas if he doesn't physically see someone, I don't think he'll be as fired up. So I think for Derek it would benefit him, regardless what the contract says. Certain fighters, me personally, I'd want to go and see the guy 6 weeks, 2 months before the fight, just to look at him, to size him up, to get a feel of where he's at and where I'm at, So it's completely individual.
Now, you once told me that you had the secrets in terms of beating Tyson Fury. You obviously arranged to fight him a couple of times, never came off, unfortunately. How much of your strategy, whatever it was, translates to Dillian Whyte? How much could he implement of that?
Some of it. We've got very, very different styles. Dillian is a much bigger, thicker set heavyweight. He's probably equally as heavy-handed. His feet are not as quick in and out. He doesn't slip as much. Although he has high-held hands. We've got completely different styles. But one thing he does have is the heart. He's got the desire. He's got the physical frame and size. He's a genuine heavyweight. I'm not a heavyweight. I would have got in the ring at 15 stone. He's getting in the ring at 17 and a half stone. He's a big heavyweight who is got a great jab. Left hook's probably the best left hook in the business. I can't think of another heavyweight who has a better single left hook than he does. And he's got cardio for days. He can just keep grinding away. Just watch his fights with Derek Chisora. They were going at a hellacious pace from the very first bell, and he's willing to go into the trenches. And we've got very, very different styles. So him implementing stuff that I've possibly done in a different way, maybe, but his punch, his counter left hook, I think is going to be imperative in this fight. Tyson Fury throws certain punches all the time. He's got a set routine of punches that he throws, and if you can plan to catch and throw off certain ones, you can unsettle his rhythm and you can get him, on the outside on your own terms. It's easier said than done, but I definitely feel the fighter that Tyson Fury has become over his last 2 fights, where he's had the most success against Deontay Wilder. I strangely think that style, coming into the fight with that mindset, with the aggression, with the come forward mentality, with I'll take what you got to give what I've got, I think that works perfectly well for Dillian Whyte. I think his style, that's why I feel he wouldn't work as well is the Tyson Fury that fought Vladimir Klitschko, who was adamant just to keep on the outside and just touch and move and just steal the rounds. That would be a lot more awkward for Dillian Whyte to overcome.
Let's talk about the trainers involved. Tyson's working with Sugar Hill Stewart, who's adapted his style to be more aggressive, as we've seen recently. On the flip side, you've got Dillian Whyte with Xavier Miller, who he hasn't been with for very long. How much of an impact do you think the trainers in this situation will have?
I think they make a difference, but both coaches know their fighters, and they both had good success. Xavier, he lost that fight against Povetkin, but they righted the wrongs and came back and showed exactly where they both were. When Dillian was fired up and tuned in, he was just obliterated Povetkin, which he should have done it in 40-odd years old. Povetkin was right at the end of his career, but that happens to great fighters. Lennox Lewis got stopped a couple of times. Hasim Rahman and Oliver McCall, fights on paper he shouldn't have lost or shouldn't have come close to losing. But it happens in the heavyweight division. One shot can change it all, and he's learned that lesson. So it's the coaches in the corner can only do so much. I definitely liked Sugar in his last fight. against Deontay Wilder. You know, he really got to grips with him. It actually reminded me of Emmanuel Stewart, the way Emmanuel Stewart used to really lecture Vladimir. You know, he was literally just screaming at him, telling him what to do, and you could see the respect was there. He understood what needed to be done and went out there and implemented it. So I really liked to see a coach not screaming, but letting his fighter know, you're not doing it the right way. This is what you need to do, and the fighter absorbing it, accepting it, and moving forward. And all you need to do is also look at Dillian Whyte's last fight. You know, his fight against Povetkin, where he came into the ring, 100% fired up. No, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to slowly grind you down and batter you and knock you out. And that's what he did. So both coaches have full control over their fighters in the right way. The respect's there, and I think that they've both got the perfect people in their corners to give them both the best opportunity of winning.
Just before I let you go, can I push you for a prediction?
I'm going to go and make the unpopular decision and go with Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte by possibly stoppage. I definitely think, or he's going to drop him a few times. I think that catch left hook that he throws comes out of nowhere, and you know, he could be on the receiving end like he was against Chisora, where it wasn't looking good for him. He was losing on points at the time, and all he needs is that one shot. But then again, we've seen Tyson Fury get that one shot from probably the biggest, hardest puncher, Deontay Wilder, and get back up. So that's what makes it exciting. But I definitely feel, you know, everyone's writing Dillian off, and I don't think it's the right thing to do. I think he's as good as can be, a contender can come to the table with, and you know, I'm looking forward to the mindset. He's not turning up to pick up a paycheck. He's not turning up, you know, to make up numbers. He's coming to win, you know, and you know, the intensity he'll bring to the ring will be like no other, and we're all in for a treat. You know, Wembley Stadium will be absolutely rocking. You're going to get to, both styles are going to gel in a beautiful way. I just something about Dillian Whyte just says, you know, he's been tested so many times, time and time again, and you know, this is his opportunity. We all get a chance to become great. This is his opportunity, and I think he's the type of guy who's going to grab it with both hands.
Really appreciate it.
Cheers.